Today, we're diving into a question that many aspiring business leaders and professionals wrestle with. How do employers view online MBA graduates compared to hybrid MBA graduates? With more professionals seeking advanced education while balancing demanding careers, family responsibilities, and financial commitments, the way an MBA is delivered has become just as important as the degree itself. So let's break down the perceptions, realities, and subtle differences in how employers see online versus hybrid MBA graduates. First, let's start with the big picture. Employers, whether they're in finance, consulting, tech, or any other industry, care most about three things when it comes to an MBA. They look at the reputation of the school, the skills you bring to the table, and how well you can apply those skills in real-world business settings. The format, whether online or hybrid, used to play a much larger role in their decision-making. But over the last few years, especially after the pandemic normalized remote work and online learning, the stigma around online MBAs has decreased significantly. Today, the weight of your degree depends far more on the institution and the results you can deliver than on whether you logged in from home or sat in a physical classroom. That said, there are still some nuanced differences in how employers view online MBA graduates compared to hybrid MBA graduates. Let's start with online MBAs. These programs are designed for maximum flexibility. Employers who see an online MBA on your resume often recognize that it required strong self-discipline, excellent time management, and a high level of personal commitment. Online MBA graduates are often perceived as being independent, adaptable, and capable of thriving in less structured environments. These are critical traits in today's workplace, where remote teams and virtual collaboration are becoming the norm. However, one area where online MBAs sometimes face skepticism is networking. Many employers recognize that in-person networking, the kind that happens naturally on campus or in after-class discussions, is harder to replicate in a fully virtual setting. Sure, online platforms offer forums, discussion groups, and even virtual events, but employers may still assume that the depth of relationships and peer connections is somewhat limited. And in business, those networks can be just as valuable as the degree itself. Now let's look at hybrid MBAs. Hybrid programs combine online coursework with in-person components, whether that's weekend residencies, periodic on-campus sessions, or workshops. Employers often view hybrid MBAs as offering the best of both worlds. They demonstrate that a graduate has the flexibility and digital fluency to succeed in online environments, while also showing that they've engaged in face-to-face collaboration, teamwork, and presentation settings. This balance can reassure employers that hybrid MBA graduates have not only acquired the academic knowledge, but also the interpersonal skills and professional connections that come from being physically present. When it comes to skill development, both online and hybrid graduates usually cover the same core areas: leadership, finance, strategy, marketing, operations, and more. But employers sometimes make subtle distinctions. Online graduates are often seen as highly resilient, people who balanced work, study, and life all at once without the traditional campus support structure. That level of grit and independence can stand out during interviews. On the other hand, hybrid graduates are often assumed to have had more exposure to teamwork, networking, and leadership practice in real-world group settings, which can carry extra weight for roles that require strong people management skills. Another area where employers form impressions is in networking and career advancement. Online MBA graduates may sometimes face the perception that they've had fewer opportunities to form deep professional connections. Employers in industries like consulting and finance, where personal networks are critical, may lean toward preferring hybrid or in-person programs. Hybrid MBAs, with their structured in-person sessions, often get credit for stronger networking potential. Employers may assume that graduates of hybrid programs have built long-term connections that could benefit not just their own careers, but also the companies they work for. But here's the key insight. The reputation of the institution offering the MBA matters more than the delivery format. If the program comes from a highly ranked school with a strong track record of producing leaders, most employers will not care whether the coursework was online, hybrid, or even entirely on campus. Large multinational corporations, especially in tech and global business, have become format agnostic. They care about the brand of the school and the quality of the graduate. What's even more important to them is whether you can apply your knowledge effectively and demonstrate leadership, problem-solving, and strategic thinking on the job. That said, traditional industries such as banking, management consulting, and government agencies still sometimes prefer graduates from hybrid or in-person programs. They see the in-person experience as more rigorous and socially immersive, and they place higher value on networking, mentorship, and face-to-face collaboration. Meanwhile, technology companies, startups, and innovative firms often place greater emphasis on adaptability, flexibility, and digital skills, which are strengths commonly associated with online MBA graduates. So, how does this all translate into career advancement? For online MBA graduates, the narrative is often about balance and resilience. Employers see individuals who have successfully managed demanding schedules, proving they can deliver results under pressure. For hybrid MBA graduates, the story is about balance too, but with an added edge in interpersonal experiences and networking. Employers may see them as graduates who not only managed flexibility, but also built strong collaborative and leadership skills through in-person interactions. If you're trying to decide between the two, here's something to keep in mind. Employers will increasingly continue to blur the line between online and hybrid degrees. What matters most is the school's brand, your performance during the program, and the way you leverage your MBA after graduation. Whether you're online or hybrid, if you actively participate, engage in networking opportunities, and apply your skills in your current role, you'll stand out. Ultimately, employers no longer see online MBAs as second tier. Instead, they see both online and hybrid MBAs as legitimate, rigorous paths to leadership, each with its own strengths. Online MBAs highlight independence, self-motivation, and digital fluency. Hybrid MBAs emphasize collaboration, networking, and balance between online and in-person learning. The key is how you present your journey and what you've achieved through your program. So to sum it all up, if you're pursuing an MBA, choose the format that best fits your lifestyle, your learning style, and your career goals. Employers will respect both formats, especially if you graduate from a well-regarded program and can clearly articulate the value you gained. In today's workplace, both online and hybrid MBA graduates have an edge, as long as they use their degree as a tool to showcase their skills, leadership, and vision. And that's how employers view online versus hybrid MBA graduates. The future is clear. The stigma of online learning is fading, hybrid models are thriving, and the reputation of your school, along with your personal achievements, will always carry the most weight.